Welcome to this episode of the Sign Right Here podcast. My name is Chanel Rose. I am your host and the founder of Closium, and this episode has been brewing for a long time, y'all. A long time coming, and I am so excited to be having this conversation with you. It is called The Scaling Gap, and I'm going to start doing more origin stories so you guys know where things are coming from. So, this episode is about all the companies, all the CEOs I've talked to over the last 4 or 5 years. And no matter what industry, the age of the business, the education of the founders, the investment of the VCs, I have seen this happen time and time again. The scaling gap is, I mean, honestly, I want to tell you that's inevitable because I think that all companies at one point or another hit what I call like big red risk, meaning they hit a point in the business where they have to decide that they are going to kind of throw caution to the wind. And even though it might seem scary, too much risk, they kind of just have to lean into it. And that is often what a scaling gap is. And transparently, most businesses just never take the risk. They just expect to keep doing the same thing and want different results. And isn't that something Einstein had a saying about that? But look, I'm not Einstein. I can't remember the saying. We're going to hop right in. As always, give me less than 10 minutes and I'm going to help you figure out how you get over this hump and get to more sales without friction. So you're making revenue, you have the clients, and every day people are showing up, but something just feels off. Deals are taking longer, your team is stretched thin, growth feels clogged, inconsistent even. Here's a question I want you to ask yourself. What if the very systems that got you to 6, 7, maybe even 8 figures are quietly stalling your scale? I want to talk about a pattern that I've seen across every growth stage. As I mentioned before, it's not industry specific, it's not size specific, it is just growth specific. Most teams don't realize that they've outgrown their sales infrastructure until they start losing deals that should be closing. Deals that should be closing. And the signs are often so subtle. Leads go cold after initial interest. Your sales team is asking for more time, better leads, better decks, more training, more follow-ups. And this is the big one. You spend more time chasing leads than you do closing deals. That is usually a huge indicator that there is something up with your sales systems. But none of that means it's broken. It just means that you've outgrown it, which is good news. You didn't notice it because money was still being made, but now every inch of growth feels like a fight. Truth moment, I've been there. I've been there where all my systems are working, and oh my goodness, the amount of times I've heard CEOs tell me, oh, we already have a CRM. Oh, we already have an enablement. Oh, we already have a lead generation system. Oh, we already have a website. Oh, we already have sales reps for our team. Oh, we already have a texting strategy. And they have everything, yet they're sitting across the desk for me because things are not working. It's because either most of the time they've outgrown their systems because of the type of clients that we work with. They are relishing in the gap. They have everything, but for some reason the revenue is not coming in the way they'd hope. And let's be clear, your sales isn't broken. It's bottlenecked. It's clogged. It's stuck. Literally. People talk about feeling stuck. Yeah, this is that feeling. You're operating inside of that scaling gap. The space between revenue you've earned and the infrastructure you've outgrown. So if you feel unsupported, you can't pinpoint what's happening, you're in the scaling gap. And here's where most executives make the wrong move. If you're taking notes, take this note. They assume a new hire will fix it. One more time. They pass the buck to the new person instead of dealing with what's already there to see how they can improve it. They decide to just pass the buck to somebody else. Oh, we just need to hire more sales reps. Oh, we just need to hire somebody to do that. And yeah, people hire us to come in and tell them how things can be made better. But the difference is that they aren't hiring somebody to pass the buck to. They are looking for a solution to amplify, quantum leap their growth. So if you said to yourself, which is to hire more people, almost always hiring more people, you can't even afford it. Like there's not enough support in your company for you to bring on more people because you don't even know what's working anymore. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's a good sign if you have more questions than answers, because that is the perfect opportunity to grow and get excited and calculate your risk, measure it, and just accept it. Okay. None of the problems that you're having right now is in headcounts or tools. It's in your architecture. How things are built are not for scale. Okay. You need sales infrastructure that matches your revenue maturity. One more time. You need sales infrastructure that matches your revenue maturity. What got you to 100,000 won't get you to 500,000. What got you to 500,000 won't get you to $1 million. What got you to $1 million will not get you to 3, will not get you to 5, will not get you to 10, will not get you to 100, will not get you to 500, will not get you to $1 billion. And to use that as an example, think about Amazon, where Amazon started in, I believe, like Jeff Bezos' home office to where it is now. Do you think, reasonably speaking, that he could have done that if he just would have decided to stay in his office? No, right? But he had an infrastructure and a system that worked at first, but you have to grow and your systems have to grow with you. Here is what I mean for your business. Let's take that, let's depersonalize it. Clear playbooks that reduce decision fatigue for everybody, for what your sales reps should say, what you should be doing. You just know decision fatigue because everybody's on the same page. Qualification paths that filter out before it gets to your team. If your team is filtering out people, your system's broken. An asset bank that turns touch points into trust. If somebody has a question about how you do business, you need a white paper. You need something that you can point people in the direction to. They can easily pull up and end that curiosity and create confidence on the spot. Your asset bank should create confidence on the spot. And your sales reps are not burning through leads. And your conversion systems feel intentional, not random. So you're not customizing every offer. You're not making everything tailored to each and every person's needs, because fundamentally, no business for a long period of time is doing that. If you're still doing that, you could be making $500,000 and be a $500,000 freelancer. I'm just going to be honest. I've seen it. I've seen $1 million freelance businesses where people are customizing, they're recreating, they're reinventing for every single sale. That should not be happening for you. I'm going to make it very simple for you. Ask these 3 questions. I'm going to read this directly off my notes. Are we converting leads or are we chasing them? Do we have a scalable process or just a streak of lucky wins? Ooh. Okay. And in 2025, a lot of people are thawing out because they made a bunch of money in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. And, there was a gold rush. And now 2024, they were like, oh, it's just a slowdown, keep doing the same thing. And now 2025, it's just not cutting it. It's just not cutting, because what got you to money in 2020 is not the same thing that's getting you to the money a half a decade later. And the last question, and this is the one every single time, and this is like millions of dollars being left on the table. You ready? Could we onboard a new sales rep today and have them perform in 30 days without shadowing the founder? Do you know? Really quickly, I'm not going to go out on a tangent, but do you know how often I tell people, like, what are your SOPs? Everybody who used to be a course creator or something like that, I tell people, you should have a training system inside of your business so that when people come on, they can watch things like old sales calls. They can watch you go through your system and see, oh, this is how I send an email. This is this font you use. This is the color that you use. You need a policies and procedures for your business. And if you're making over $100,000 and you don't have a searchable database for building teams so that they can go on and train and confidently seek out solutions without you being in the room, okay, then you have been diagnosed to be inside of the scaling gap. And that's okay. Just know you're not scaling, you're surviving with volume. And the system, not your people, is the problem. The system, not your people, is the problem. Here's what we do every day in my business. We deal with companies with momentum, but no map. Founders running 7 and sometimes 8-figure businesses with startup era systems. Okay. And the results: stalled deal velocity, burnt out sales teams, revenue that should have but didn't. And at Closium, we don't give you more stuff. We built the infrastructure to scale what's already working without breaking it. I know that's a huge fear for everybody. And honestly, that's a huge fear for me. When I hire new people, there's always like that risk where I'm like, man, I bring somebody on. What if they break everything? And you know what I tell myself every time? We're going to fix it. If they break it, we're going to fix it. It's okay. And transparently, they really can't break it. They can't. They can slow it down. They can, ask me a bunch of questions, make my days a little longer, but it's temporary. There's nothing permanent about mistakes. So if you are noticing that you're inside a scaling gap, you answer any one of those questions with no. Are we converting leads or are we chasing them? If you're converting them, yes. Are you chasing them? Yes. Right? Then you need us. Do you have a scalable process or just a streak of lucky wins? Again, you could be $1 million company with a streak of lucky wins. I have seen it. I've had that conversation so much in the last 6 to 8 weeks. You'd be surprised at how many people who have made millions of dollars right now, and they don't know that their systems are failing. They have blamed everybody but the systems, and that's okay, right? So here's what we do. After we build your infrastructure, remember, we build it out, we don't break it, we get you out of that gap. And this is not a sales pitch, this is a blueprint. We've done this for, some of everybody, universities, small businesses, large businesses, all businesses, because being at the growth stage where we live is inside of growth. Any business at some point or another has been excited to grow, and we don't want to support that growth. We create momentum behind that growth, and we all but guaranteed that growth because we map out your deal flow and we show you what's missing between now and your next revenue leap. Next time on Sign Right Here podcast, I'm going to be talking to you about one of my very, very favorite subjects, and that is how to tell when it is time to move up in your systems. Because I've talked to you a lot about, like, do you need to be concerned about it? But I want to dig in a little bit deeper about how you know more than just those 3 questions about your systems needing to be updated. Of course, you can book a diagnostic call. If you're like, whoop, you call me out today, Chanel, feel free to book a diagnostic call, and we will be happy to sit down with you and help you figure out what's missing, what's working, and how we can support you through your next growth. I like growth leap. Through your next growth leap. This is Chanel. Talk to you soon. Bye.